volunteers in Mozambique slept out overnight to catch an online performance of Budda Day in Taiwan. In Indonesia, care packages were delivered to families in need for the important Ramadan holiday. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. Let's get started. Tzu Chi recently celebrated Budda Day as volunteers in Mozambique participated online. Volunteers in Mozambique endured the cold and slept under a mango tree, determined to remotely participate in this holy day. Take a look.
Early in the morning, Mozambique Tzu Chi volunteers, in preparation for Budda Day, waited an entire night as tents were set up and fires were lit in order to keep participants warm. When the time to connect arrived, participants gathered in front of the screen under the night starry sky as everyone patiently waited. From the screen, the event in Hualien is being streamed live as Mozambique volunteers followed instructions and provided simultaneous translations for participants. At the Tzu Chi office in Namatanda, volunteers have climbed trees and set up tents, preparing for the upcoming event. During the night, 4 Tzu Chi representatives leading 80 volunteers connected with global Tzu Chi volunteers, expressing words of thankfulness. Besides connecting with Tzu Chi in Taiwan, in the first week of May, Mozambique volunteers have held 10 prostrating pilgrimages. No matter if it's at the DaAi farm or a Tzu Chi-based location, volunteers use coconut shells to carry water and sugarcane leaves as a seed for the Buddha, though the decoration is simple, the sincerity is there. By washing the feet of parents and serving tea, the kind heart of a child touches their parents deeply.
Mother, you are my queen. I think I don't deserve you, but God gave me you. I love you, Mother.
I'm happy that my child is cleaning my feet, but I hope that she does not only do this to me, but serves others. Everyone here is her mother.
Enforcing filial piety, and though many don't have money to donate, they brought out crops from the fields to donate.
I planted these crops myself, and Master Zeng Yan says that it's giving too.
Besides this corn flour, I have nothing else to give others.
I don't have money to donate, but I have some crops from my farm.
Willing to share their crops and efforts, Mozambique volunteers' heart of kindness has enriched the soil.
In Central Taiwan, Dajia District's Budda Day ceremony is different from years past, held at their own brand new Jing Si Hall this year with about 1,000 people in attendance. The ceremony was separated both indoors and outdoors with a decoration and ceremony very impressive and full of meaning. Here's more.
Keeping to COVID prevention means not skipping a step in wearing a mask, measuring temperature, and sanitizing hands. The Budda Day ceremony serves as the grand opening for Dajia District's Jing Si Hall.
Of the past decade or so, this is the first time for us to host a Budda Day ceremony in our own home. And this time it's the brand new Jing Si Hall, which is extra special.
Welcoming the special guests, the thin bamboo has been set up to represent the character of the word human, which not only represents the spirit of humanitarianism, but also a deeper meaning.
The word bamboo in Taiwanese also sounds like the word character, to accept the Buddha's character in our hearts. This not only helps us to nurture our character, but also the community.
The ceremony is held in 2 places, but everything is still presented with order and details.
I'm here with our group of 48 members of the Women's Club to join the Budda Day ceremony. We're all very glad to be here.
When you enter the second floor of the Jing Si Hall, the ceiling is dotted with stars, where the lotus flower pattern can be seen. Mrs. Shao has brought her family of 11 to the event.
My family of 11 came, and there are 4 generations of us. We're here to pray for a disaster-free world and for rain to fall.
Using sincerity of the heart to express gratitude for the past, while also being cautious in welcoming the future. With much devastation going on in the world, there must be more compassion and charity from all.
To mark the 55th anniversary of Tzu Chi, volunteers in Johor Bahru, Malaysia, joined a video conference to chant the Buddha Sutras for 17 days. Many of them vowed to continue walking the Bodhisattva path and carry out Tzu Chi's missions.
Due to the pandemic, Tzu Chi Johor Bahru branch has stopped holding prostrating pilgrimage for the second year. Despite that, volunteers still joined the chanting of Lotus Sutra via video conference with Hualien's Jing Si abode.
After we chanted the Lotus Sutra for 17 days, we realized it was very difficult. Even though we listen to Dharma teachings, it is still difficult to understand. However, I am grateful that the Master has explained the meanings sentence by sentence for us.
As some volunteers have internet connection problems at home, they chose to come to the Tzu Chi office to join the sutra chanting.
When I chanted the sutra at home, I was not as mindful. When I heard some sounds, I would get distracted. Coming to the Tzu Chi office, I can join everyone and concentrate. It is very good.
The place is different. Joining everyone is like joining Buddhist faith. It is different as I can feel the unity. I can be more mindful.
Besides chanting the Lotus Sutra for 17 days, volunteers also chant the Sutra of Medicine Buddha to mark Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary. Due to the pandemic, the number of people at Johor Bahru Jing Si Hall is limited. However, they're still very sincere as they chant the sutras.
I have not chanted sutras at our gratitude hall for a long time. It is very stately and different. I hope the pandemic can end soon. We must understand what the Master means when she says that we must adopt a vegetarian diet. We must promote vegetarianism in the communities.
Since the establishment of Tzu Chi in 1966, Dharma Master Zheng Yen required clear records of each donation, no matter if they were big or small. Early on, volunteers wrote these donations in ledger books, but now it's been digitized.
90-year-old Zhang Jingye loves going out to do this.
It has been 45 years. My family are all Tzu Chi members. Inside her ledger, she drew me as a lot of children.
Tzu Chi's donation ledger has long been digitized. Since Zhang doesn't read or write, her daughter helps. This ledger book, which has helped write Tzu Chi's history, is filled with much wisdom.
Bra picture means she sells them. I put a lot of effort into her picture. Look, I even drew lace edges. I make myself laugh when looking at the drawing.
Actually, when my mom draws the picture, I will fill the name later on, but this ledger serves as a proof of her love. She wants to overcome her obstacles.
To gain one more donating member, I took lessons on swimming. The coach said to me, when I successfully learned how to swim, he would sign up to join. So I went religiously. On a really cold day, he was impressed that I came to the lesson. I said, if it's cold, I'll just drink hot tea. To recruit him as my donating member, I learned the breaststroke, to which the coach was impressed. Someone saw how well I was doing and asked who taught me. My coach said, of course he did. It was then that I asked if the coach could be my member, and he said yes. I drew a picture and his phone number. The master asked why didn't I draw the legs straight. The reason is that when I call him, he often says nothing, but that he had diarrhea. So I drew him as that he had ruby legs from walking to the bathroom so much.
我就甲话讲，走便所走甲骹软
On this day, Zhang has a new member. She springs into action.
这个就是爱画我收，才知影讲这就是送的善款。袂晓写字我就甲写头毛 QQQQQQ 安尼吼，安尼做伊的记号。
You guessed it, it's the owner of a salon.
暗时咧困到咧做梦咧笑啦。
At night, I was sleeping and dreaming. I don't know if I was laughing too loud or too ugly, but my husband woke up and asked what I was doing. I said to him, "Don't bother me, I'm recruiting the Tzu Chi members." Then he woke me up. "You are sleeping and not collecting the donations." I was asleep dreaming about my members. I was having so much fun that I laughed out loud.
真正咧困，甲人讲甲欢喜，咧笑安尼。
In their 90s, these two have spent half their lives together in Tzu Chi.
手换咧，安尼，安尼，较挖来，安尼，哦，好食无？
我有这个动力，就是因为在2年前。
I had the motivation because 2 years ago, my father had told my mother that his donation ledger was a merchant. And that's when we realized my father has a little bit of dementia. That's when it crossed my mind that I need to pick up my parents' Tzu Chi legacy.
讲爸爸甲妈妈的志业，我就要赶紧甲伊接来做，
来接班啦。等足久诶，就安足欢喜诶。
Meanwhile, in Malaysia, 90-year-old Koo Ching Neo also does it right, but knows moral reasoning.
那时候没有簿子的。
I didn't have a notebook, so I used a newspaper and asked them to write their own name and their donating amount on the newspaper, then just wrap up each donation.
他是卖鸡蛋的，我就把它写圆。他卖眼镜的我就写卖一个眼镜。我写他是卖菜的，我写一个菜。
When he sells vegetables, I draw a green leaf. If he sells fish, I'll draw a fish. If they sell rice for a living, then I'll draw a bowl of rice. This is how I remember where to go. I make marks for all of them.
Since the establishment of Tzu Chi Foundation, Dharma Master Zhen Yan has required clear and detailed ledgers of all donations. Hong Biyun had the broadest spectrum of members, despite not knowing how to read or write.
伊讲你看，我就用安尼方法咧，我都拿去吼，就甲讲你家己写，我才袂甲你写唔对。叫他们自己写，他自己才不会写错。你家己写，这摆写后出来吼，已经出来了。他下一个月要怎么说？他会不会跑错路啊？他就出来到门口，回头看看他这个家有什么特殊的他就见葡萄嘛，他就在这个人的上面就会一颗一颗的像一串葡萄那是去市场买菜的时，假如是卖菜，他就会画了一个叶菜油那就表示他是卖菜若是伫咧卖鸡，他就画一个鸡头高高那就是卖鸡呀。
烟是卖安怎烟？
香电
安尼。
你就搁一摆。
哦，比我咧举扫帚较艰苦较重。
A pen to engrave trust and confidence. Each step they take represents their bravery and effort. For 55 years, they have written Tzu Chi's history.
Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter distributed care packages and rice to impoverished families during the holy period of Ramadan. Due to the pandemic, many people felt the effect of a poor economy, were unable to purchase daily supplies. Fortunately, Tzu Chi was able to contribute these vital supplies, which were very useful and appreciated when they arrived. Take a look.
Volunteers were respectfully presenting care packages and masks to 100 households in Muka village of Angkor district, Jakarta.
Ini sangat-sangat membantu
This activity benefits disadvantaged families a lot.
bagi yang ekonomi yang sangat lemah.
Under the pandemic, it is very hard for impoverished families to have a happy Ramadan. In Pademangan, these supplies are very practical.
Although we are from different race and religion, we can still unite and support each other.
As for Tzu Chi Medan branch, 350 packages of supplies were sent to the Indonesian Ulama Council of Medan.
Dengan segenap pengurus Majelis Ulama Kota Medan menyampaikan
Thank you to Tzu Chi Medan branch for sending us the supplies, which are very useful for the Dhamma masters.
suci yang telah berkenan memberikan paket lebaran.
Dua agama ya, satu dari Buddhis, satu dari Muslim.
One is a Buddhist group while the other is Islam, but everyone still supports each other, hence their relationship becomes more harmonious.
Mengucapkan selamat Idul Fitri kepada semua umat Muslim.
In Ecuador, there was a severe mudslide disaster in February of this year. After local Tzu Chi volunteers investigated the disaster, they immediately held a cash card and blanket distribution in early April. At the same time, COVID prevention supplies continued to be distributed. A military officer who took refuge in Ecuador was very grateful to receive this help. Here's more.
Heavy rain in February caused mudslide, and more than 400 families were forced to leave their homes. In April, the road was still difficult to pass, and the bus going to distribute supplies was stuck on the hillside. Volunteers with a mission must find the disaster victims to distribute supply vouchers. Because when volunteers came to investigate the disaster, they promised to come to help again. Residents who have been evacuated are scattered around. They didn't expect that there's a group of people who will always remember them. The city government also fully cooperates, not only as lead on the road, but also arrange the distribution venues. The blankets received warm up the residents, and the cash cards received can relieve their financial stress.
God will repay your goodwill. God bless you. Now I have enough to buy things. We want to buy land. I hope we have enough to buy a house.
This time, a total of 400 households were helped. The young volunteers who participate in the distribution for the first time were also impressed.
I think it's very important to be a volunteer because we help the people that really need help.
Our mission is to sow seeds. I think we have planted seeds here. We have shared our compassion.
Meanwhile, COVID prevention supplies distribution has continued for the 8th time. The Venezuelan military officer who came to receive help is about to run out of food.
The United Nations cannot protect us because the pandemic, not only Ecuador, but the whole world is overwhelmed and closed offices. Thanks to your help, at least we have food to eat.
Tzu Chi assistance has allowed 1,500 families in need to have enough energy to continue to face the pandemic.
In Taichung, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the Zhang family. Mr. Zhang single-handedly raises 2 children. 3 years ago, his wife left home and his house burned down. Fortunately, Tzu Chi volunteers reached out to provide assistance to him. After 3 years, his daughter has started working. Mr. Zhang has started to do good deeds with Tzu Chi volunteers. He said that he now wants to pass the love forward and help others like him in need. Take a look at his inspiring story.
21岁，可以工作，然后赚钱，不会就是被当工读生或者什么。 助养，从洗头开始啊，然后你就慢慢。
In my first year at the salon, I work as an assistant washing customers' hair. Then I learned slowly. I must pass the test and win the approval of other hairstylists to become a hairstylist. During classes, the teachers also taught us that we must share our professional knowledge with our customers. We must teach our customers this professional knowledge so they can learn more about themselves.
等一下会帮我修有层次的吗？还是
会稍微有一点层次，会比较就是绑起来不会一坨在后面。
OK，
对。
I became a hairstylist in the original salon. In fact, becoming a hairstylist in the original salon is very difficult because you must have regular customers.
She has a lot of regular customers. Among 10 customers, at least 5 of them like her. This is considered a lot.
今天很满意呀、
那觉得自己有没有更美丽？
啊，有啊，从来没有这么漂亮过。
Because she is very stable, we want to train her to become a salon director in training. One person must handle 2 salons. She will become more responsible, knowing how to move forward.
因为她头发比较长，又
Because her hair is a bit long and naturally curly, when she lies on bed, her hair will intertwine. I cut the back of her hair and make it thinner, and then shorten her hair.
很新鲜。
She mildly washes my hair. She is attentive to the details, and I feel very touched.
我非常感动。
帮个案剪啊，帮。
It is alright that I do not get paid for cutting care recipients' hair and the hair of my friends and relatives. As I do not feel any pressure, I can serve everyone with my expertise. I think it is very good.
In the past, my house was burned down and the Tzu Chi helped me renovate the place. Construction work is hard work, and I have to work under the heat. It is harder than the cleaning job.
When he came across challenges and difficulties, he did not back off, but he moved forward.
When he moved items, they seem to be light. However, for volunteers who do not do this often, the items are heavy. In the past, he was a receiver, but now he is a giver. He knows to give of himself. Since I have experienced similar situation in the past, I want to help them. This way, they can have a more comfortable home. It is very good. I've earned happiness.
On Buddha Day, many visited the Tzu Chi Jing Si Hall in Malacca to bathe the Buddha while learning more about Tzu Chi's spirit through this special activity and surrounding decorations. We leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.